Hey guys, good morning. Today we're going to be doing the presumptive blood test, which is at crime scene when you find a sample of blood. And we can see here I've got some samples of blood and I've got some samples of something that's not blood. So we're going to do, I'm going to show you two methods. One is called the Kastle-Meyer presumptive blood test. So let's look at our not blood, and let's say we have a sample of blood on a Q-tip. Or a sample of something that's not blood on the Q-tip. What we're going to do is we're going to take what's called the Kastle-Meyer reagent, and we're going to add just a drop or two to the Q-tip. Nothing will happen right away. We then take a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, and we add a few drops to the Q-tip. We're just going to let that sit there. I'm going to do the same test to one of these wells, add a few drops of Kastle-Meyer. I'm going to add a few drops of peroxide. All right, and we'll let that sit. Now I'm going to come over to where I have blood, right? This is chicken blood. So I'm going to add a few drops of my Kastle-Meyer reagent. Okay, we can also already see a change compared to the Q-tip that had no that is not blood. When I add the peroxide, we get a very obvious change that did not happen when there was fake blood. So this is called a presumptive blood test because it doesn't tell us what type of blood the substance is, but it does tell us that it's blood instead of something like ketchup, barbecue sauce, red paint, dye. This is fake blood. So presumptive blood will let us know if the crime scene, in fact, what we found is blood. I'm going to do here presumptive blood test on wet blood. And again, we can see the color change of the blood relative to the fake blood. And so we are sure now that this is some sort of blood. We don't know if it's animal blood or human blood, but we'll do that tomorrow. So then one more test. If we have a sample of dried blood or a dried red substance on a cloth and we need to determine whether or not this is blood or not, our method is going to be very simple. We're going to take a forensic swab and we are going to dip it in distilled water. We want to make sure it's distilled water so there are no impurities that contaminate our sample. We're then going to take our dried blood stain and we're going to try to get some of it on the Q-tip as much as we can. This is not destroying the sample, by the way, which is important. And we want to save this blood for further tests. If we had placed the Kastle-Meyer reagent, and we can see now, if you zoom in here, we can see what happened when it was real blood, right? We have obvious reaction to the Kastle-Meyer reagent when it's real blood. If we go over to where it's not blood, we see no such reaction. But back to this, once we have our Q-tip, we want to make sure we use distilled water and not put the Kastle-Meyer reagent directly on the shirt or on the blood stain. It will destroy the sample. We can do no further testing. So I have my Q-tip with some sample, and I'm going to then begin to do my Kastle-Meyer test to see whether or not the sample on the shirt is blood or not blood. And that is how we are going to do presumptive blood testing today and probably part of tomorrow. So I hope you have a bloody good time, and that's it.